A busy one today. I hope everyone's doing fine. And we're here to talk about the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup, which takes place through tonight and tomorrow. There already had been a result, I believe it was last week. It was an upset. Millwall went out last week. So, there's already been an upset there, but this is about all the matches that are taking place over Tuesday night and into Wednesday as well. Yep. So, shall we get started? These are going to be my predictions for what I think will happen in the Carabao Cup. Where will an upset come from? And where may expected results come from? Let's get right into this, because this is going to be probably a bit of a long video. First, we'll start with Shrewsbury Town up against Carlisle. Shrewsbury, obviously managed by Steve Cottrell. Having a good renaissance on them to a degree. I'll just give you my quick predictions on this. Carlisle's going to be a difficult tie. This starts at 7:30, by the way, this game between Shrewsbury and Carlisle. I am going to say, I want to say Carlisle are going to get through this. I think they're going to get through it on penalties. So I'm going to say 1-1 as a 90-minute score, and I think Carlisle will just nick the game. So Carlisle, I think, will beat Shrewsbury. Accrington up against Tranmere Rovers is next, and Accrington are no longer, who are they? They are Accrington Stanley. And Tranmere Rovers, finding it difficult in League 2 to start with. I'm going to go for Tranmere to win here, strangely enough. I just got this very funny feeling. I'm going to go that it's going to go Accrington Stanley 1, Tranmere Rovers 2, Blackpool, being led now by Michael Appleton, against Barrow, who is managed by Pete Wild. Sorry about that. And really, a cracking start Barrow have made. They've got some good players there. Blackpool are just getting to grips again with Michael Appleton. I think this one's going to be close. I'm going to go for Blackpool just to edge it. So much so I'm actually going to go Blackpool 1, Barrow 0, I think it'll be. Watch it now become a goal fest. But there we go. Bolton up against Salford. This is probably going to be a bit biased from me. Any Salford fan, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of your club. But I'm going to basically say Bolton will get through this. I think it's a derby of some sort. I'm going to go for 3-1 Bolton against Salford. Sorry. Next, we go to a game that is actually on TV, I believe. Bradford City hosting Hull City. Hull have made wholesale changes to their squad over the summer. A lot of Turkish players have come into Hull, and Bradford not really got off to the best of starts in the Mark Hughes in League 2. I believe they've only got 1 point from the opening 2 games. It's going to be difficult. I fancy Hull to nick this one. Nick this one. I'm actually going to say 3-0 to Hull City. I think Hull will just have too much for Bradford City. They just haven't got a grip so far, but it's on TV, so you never ever know, do you? Next up, we have Doncaster Rovers up against Lincoln City. This is kind of close to being a derby. And I fancy Donny to nick this. But I want to say penalties. I'm going to say 2-2 after extra time, 2-2 after 90 minutes. And I think Donny will nick it on penalties. It's one of those sort of games that you'd think Lincoln, but I think Donny will just nick that on penalties. So 2-2, I'm saying, after full time. Fleetwood Town up against Wigan Athletic. I am going to say I can't look past Wigan for this one. Fleetwood have made a decent start in League One. I think Wigan will just pip this. So I'm saying Fleetwood Town 0 and Wigan Athletic 2. Grimsby Town up against Crewe Alexandra. I have done a video to this. If you want to go and check that out, you can. I will give you the score that I've gone for here. Obviously, it's my club, so people will say it's a bit biased, but I don't care. Grimsby Town, I think, will just edge this, but I think it's going to be a close game. Crewe have started their season really well with 2 back-to-back wins. Grimsby have had a loss and a draw. But at home, I just fancy Grimsby against anybody. And I'm saying Grimsby Town 2, Crewe 1, but that could be extra time. But I'm saying 2-1 to the Mariners on that. Next, we have Harrogate Town up against Stockport County. Stockport have been a bit shell-shocked so far in the league campaign. Harrogate have won and lost 1. They've won 3-0 and they've lost 3-0. Stockport have lost the previous 2, like I've said. So it's kind of like been a baptism of fire for Stockport after winning National League last season. And I fancy Harrogate to get the job done. I really do. I think, they play good football. And Simon Weaver is a very, real good manager. I mean, longest serving manager anywhere, I think, to be honest. I fancy Harrogate to get this done. I'm going to go Harrogate Town 2, Stockport County 0. I'm going to go, but we'll see how that goes. I think it'll be a good game, though. A good game of football between 2 good footballing sides. Next, we have Huddersfield Town up against Preston North End. This is a pick'em. Huddersfield with a terrible start to the Championship. I'm saying that they will pick up their first win tonight, though. 2-1 against Preston over the 90 minutes. I do think it'll be done in over 90 minutes. The next game is Mansfield Town up against Derby County. Well, if this doesn't have Clough overtones on it, not only does Nigel Clough manage Mansfield, obviously he's former manager of Derby County, and his dad was manager of Derby County as well. So it's kind of like a Clough derby, this. Mansfield haven't really got off to the best of starts in League Two. Derby County probably just starting to find their feet after everything started. I fancy, I do fancy Derby for this. I'm going to say Derby County 3, Mansfield 1. But watch Mansfield blow me out of the water and get it completely and go completely the other way. But I'm saying 3-1 to Derby County in this. Morecambe up against Stoke City. Morecambe, a very difficult place to go, especially under Derek Adams. Stoke, obviously not quite got the momentum that they wanted, but they've got a very good manager in charge. And I fancy Stoke to get the job done here. 2-1 against Morecambe. Next game, Rochdale up against Burton Albion. And I think Burton look a mess at the moment. Rochdale not much better, to be completely honest. So I'll have a keen eye on this with Michael going to Rochdale at the weekend. I fancy Rochdale to beat Burton Albion actually, and I'm actually going to go for a 2-0 win for Rochdale. I just don't see Burton being what they could be. So I'm saying 2-0 to Rochdale. Wimbledon up against Gillingham. It's a repeat of the opening game of the season, I believe, where Wimbledon got the better of Gillingham. I think it's going to be the other way round this time. I think Gillingham are going to take this. I'm saying 3-2 to Gillingham against Wimbledon. Should be an interesting game, that. Again, another pick'em. If you go for Wimbledon, it won't be wrong. You can pick either two sides and it won't be bad. Cardiff City about to play Portsmouth as well this evening. This is tough. I think Portsmouth could get it on penalties. I'm going to go 1-1 after 90 minutes and Portsmouth just to nick it. Charlton Athletic, decent start in League One at the moment against Queen's Park Rangers. I'm going to fancy QPR, and I'm going to say it'll be close. I'm going to say QPR to win it by 2-1 against Charlton. Cheltenham Town up against Exeter City. Cheltenham coming off that to disappointment to Barnsley. Exeter at the minute are flying high from promotion. Again, it's another pick'em game really. I'm going to just edge Cheltenham 2-1 in this occasion, but I think it will be very, very tight between the two sides. Crawley host Bristol Rovers. This is a game that, again, cup games can go either way. I can't see Bristol Rovers losing to Crawley though. And I think it could be fairly comfortable if they start well. I'm going to say Bristol Rovers to win 3-0 against Crawley Town. Next, Forest Green Rovers host Leyton Orient. Now this is going to be a difficult game to call. I think this will go to penalties, and I just think Forest Green will just nick it. I'm saying 2-2 after full time and Forest Green to nick it on penalties. Watch me get that so wrong. Ipswich Town, they next host Colchester. Colchester with Freddie Sears is always a threat. Ipswich, again, trying to find their feet in League One. Shows you how strong League One is right now with the amount of clubs in there that probably should be at least Championship. I'm fancying a 3-1 win for Ipswich though against Colchester. I don't see an upset coming there. Start the upset party, I would say, if I've said that. Luton Town host Newport County. Luton, I think will have enough to get through this. I'm sure there'll be a few rested from the weekend, but I do fancy him to get past Newport. Newport obviously having Omar Bogle there could cause them some problems. I do fancy Luton to get past Newport. I'm saying 2-0 there for Luton against Newport County. The MK Dons is next against Sutton. Now this is a pick'em, and I'm going to go for an upset here. I'm going to go for Sutton to win at the MK Dons. 1-1, and again penalties could be involved, but I fancy Sutton to just get over the line. Northampton Town against Wycombe Wanderers. Wycombe had a great start in the opening game of the season in League One, and then kind of fell apart against Bolton. Northampton Town won on the opening weekend and then drew Grimsby last weekend. This is a pick'em as well, but just because of Gareth Ainsworth and his hair, I'm going to go for Wycombe to narrowly get past Northampton. I'm saying a 2-1 win for Wycombe Wanderers there. Norwich City against Birmingham. At the minute, again, it's another pick'em that could easily go to penalties. I'm going to fancy just Birmingham because Norwich don't seem to have got a foothold yet. So I'm actually going to go for Birmingham to win 3-1 against Norwich City. Oxford United up against Swansea is next, and I'm going to say Swansea to get past Oxford. I'm going to say 2-1 there for the Swans against Oxford. Walsall up against Swindon. Again, it's a pick'em. It's in the same league. Two teams from League Two. I've got to fancy Walsall. Being at home, the way they've started the last two games, a 4-0 win and a 1-0 win. Swindon really haven't got to grips yet. Again, with Walsall's firepower, I have to fancy Walsall to get past Swindon. I do. I fancy it being Walsall 3, Swindon Town 1. And the final one for the evening is Reading up against Stevenage. Now, this is going to be difficult. This one could be an upset, actually, because Steve Evans has got Stevenage playing, and they seem to believe in their manager. Paul Ince is in and out at the moment. Good manager for Reading, though. But, I'm going to say Stevenage are going to nick this. I'm going to say 3-2 to Stevenage against Championship side Reading. So we'll quickly go on to Wednesday's fixtures because there's a handful of fixtures in the EFL Cup. And the other games we're going to talk about just now is Blackburn Rovers. They host Hartlepool tomorrow night. I can see this being a comfortable win for Blackburn. No League Cup game is comfortable, but I just don't see Hartlepool giving up much resistance. I'm going to say Blackburn Rovers 3, Hartlepool United 0. Next, Middlesbrough up against Barnsley. Middlesbrough, they're one of the favourites to be at least in the playoffs come the end of the season. They've not made the best of starts. Barnsley are 1-1, I believe. And Barnsley, they've got Michael Duff there. He could easily cause an upset there. I'm going to just go for a narrow Borough win, though. 2-1 for Middlesbrough over Barnsley. Port Vale up against Rotherham United. Again, a difficult match there. I'm going to edge just Rotherham, but I think it's going to go to penalties, that is. 1-1 after 90 minutes. And I think Rotherham will just nick it on penalties. Here's a big one. Sunderland hosting Sheffield Wednesday. This is the TV game tomorrow, I believe. And I don't know. I quite literally don't know. I think they both got two good managers, two good squads. I'm going to go penalties on this one. I'm going to say it's going to end up being... It's going to be one of those games, isn't it? There's either going to be loads of goals in it, or there's going to be no goals in it. Do you know what? I'm going to be really pedantic here, and I'm going to say 0-0 between the two sides. Watch me get that so wrong. I'm sure there'll be goals in this. But I'm saying 0-0, and I'm saying Sunderland to just come out on top on penalties. Coventry City against Bristol City. It's having to be played at Burton Albion's Pirelli Stadium because Coventry City's ground is just not ready. I've seen the state of the ground. It's awful. Obviously, with all the rugby and that's played by Wasps, it's just in an awful state. It's unplayable. That's why their game at the weekend got called off. The pitch is not safe. Against Bristol City, I'm going to say Bristol City will get past Coventry, probably by 3-1. So, I can't see Coventry winning that one. Watch them turn the score around completely and go the other way. And the final game in the first round of the League Cup is Plymouth Argyle up against Peterborough United. Now, again, this is another pick'em. They can all score goals, but I just think with Peterborough's firepower, I just think Peterborough are going to have a little bit too much. But I am going to go for a high-scoring game here. Watch me get this wrong. I'm going to go for Plymouth Argyle 2, Peterborough United 3. They're my League Cup predictions for the first round of the competition. Let me know down below if one of your clubs is involved, what you think the score is going to be. Let me know down below. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Hit that bell, that'll let you know when I upload some new content. And I'll see you guys very soon with the next one. Thank you, guys.